So lately, I've been getting a vision of a rose. Also, it has been coming up in conversation, it has been showing up around every corner. I feel like this symbolism is not just for me, but there's definitely a message wanting to be channeled through me to reach you, beloved collective. So I'm so happy you're here. Last night, I got this image of a body. I tried to draw the imagery. Maybe I'll be brave enough to show you of my stick figure, but a body where there was a gap in the heart space, if you can imagine that. And there was a deep, deep gap. It was an empty gap, almost as if it had become a vessel. And from that imagery, a rose started blooming out of that gap. Okay, it started blooming and it started blossoming and growing and growing and growing and growing and filling in the gap. And then I heard filling in the gaps. And then this morning I was in a perfectly good mood, and then this feeling of melancholy has been coming through in waves. And partly it's my own, and partly it's an energy I'm picking up on with the collective energy here. You may also be picking up on this energy of melancholy. And then when I was in meditation, my guides were showing me that this symbolism of the rose is being born out of this melancholy, or it's coming in to fill in the gap. It's coming in to fill the gap. What we feel is missing, or what we're longing for, or that melancholy where you can't quite place your finger on it. Okay. Now, the rose is one of the highest frequencies of flowers. I believe it's 320 megahertz. And the rose has so many sacred spiritual symbolisms across all cultures, starting with love, of course. Love, creation, fertility, mystery, sacrifice, divine perfection, passion, something about the scent, beauty of a rose. It's also an energy known to open us up to a gateway of higher consciousness, higher frequency. People use roses in their spiritual practices, on their altars. It holds the energy of devotion. It's also fire. And I think that's very interesting. Before I pull cards, collective, I know this is a little bit different, but every now and then I get these strong messages and downloads to share without cards. So fire. Rose is associated with the fire energy, the fire element. Fire combats dampness, and melancholy feels like a damp energy. So I feel like this rose energy is very timely and very significant. I also feel like, beloved, there could be a lot of passings. Okay, people we love, elders passing on. Okay, so I'm sending my love, my condolences. I myself lost my grandmother recently, and that's actually how this rose message started. And today I just got news of another passing in the family. And but what I feel like the rose is also a symbol for death. Okay, death, but also life. Okay, and now with that message, Persephone is coming through. Okay, the goddess of life and death, the bringer of life and death. So let's see, where am I called? haven't used this deck. It was one of my first decks from over 12 years ago. Probably 15 years now. But it's in perfect condition. Something about that message, like the rose, preservation of beauty. Okay, what is the message for this collective here drawn to this reading? Also, potentially, if they have a weary heart, what is the message for the weary heart right now? This melancholy energy that I've been picking up on. Cleanse your energy. Okay, we have a few cards, okay? When you release negativity, the answer to your question shines through. Let's sit with this for a second. Let go of anxiety, lavender. Calm your nerves, and you'll be able to hear the voice of your angels. And be positive. Your thoughts can shape your experience, so be sure to focus on the positive. Now I'm getting this message like, collective, we have been letting go of our anxiety. We have been cleansing our energy. We have been praying. We have been staying positive and optimistic. But yet there's this, it's like this creeping of melancholy that I feel like can come through every now and then in waves. So take us there, Spirit. Let's speak to the melancholy. First step and laughter. Breaking down this problem into tiny pieces makes it easier, or easy rather, to take the first step. Laughter. Uplift yourself and those around you through loving laughter. Okay, so we need to maybe bring in and invite more lighthearted energy, fun energy. That could also be in relation to this rose, the fire to the dampness, passion to our sorrow and pain. White rose, purification at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Powerful. By purifying your life of negative people, places, and experience, you attain true peace. So the white rose came through. Now, in receiving images and visions of roses of all kinds, and all colors, mind you, so it's not just limited to the white rose. I'm seeing that this rose that's coming through, especially in the heart, this is my stick figure here. And I could draw better than this, but as I was channeling this message, I saw this rose come in and it was just expanding and expanding and expanding beyond this being here. Okay. So if the image of a rose is coming to you lately of any color, then this is a strong probability that this message is for you here. Okay. For some of us, I'm drawn to the breaking down this problem into tiny pieces. Makes it easier to take the first step. For some of us, a melancholy is coming through because we think something could be too daunting or too hard to bear. Nothing is more powerful than you are, beloved. Sometimes we make tasks in life larger than what they seem or larger than what they appear to be. Okay, we can make it up in the mind's eye, which could deter us from doing something or starting something. I like how the laughter card came in because maybe that's what we need. We need more comedy. We need more laughter. But when you're in a melancholy state, when you have a weary heart, when you're grieving, it can be hard to do and achieve on your own. So let's see. More messages for this collective. Let's go deeper and try to soothe the weary heart. Really speak to it, sit with it. What is the lesson? What is it trying to show us? What is this melancholy, pain, sorrow, weary heart trying to show anyone who's feeling this way? We have new career. Just like that, new career. So some of you have maybe anxiety around starting a new career or taking a leap of faith, making that first move because of the uncertainty. Uncertainty can also bring up melancholy. Also, some of you are just so worn out in your current work, with your current circumstances. A new career or a shift in career is either on the horizon or you're encouraged to start looking at your options. Start looking at your options here. Courage at the bottom of the deck. This could take a lot of courage. This could take a huge, huge leap of faith. I'm also seeing a huge expansion, okay? What does that mean? Like, I'm seeing someone's bandwidth being expanded. Okay, what does that mean, Spirit? Got 2 cards. New exercise program and spiritual growth. Movement. Okay, movement. This also helps move the body, move out stagnancy, moved up collected energies. We started the reading with cleanse your energies. So sometimes we pick up on energies of those around us, the collective sorrow, the collective grief, the collective uncertainty right now is very high. Movement, walks in nature, deep breath work, okay, are all advice coming in. We also have spiritual growth. Sometimes when we're ascending, sometimes when we're walking through portals or openings, gateways to higher consciousness, that can also be very painful, very painful. Imagine that beautiful caterpillar turning into a free roaming butterfly, okay? The process is not overnight. And it's murky and it's not an easy process by the looks of it. But there's also this message coming through about the snake energy, okay? And I did a reading on Sunday where I spoke about how the snake sheds its skin. And when the snake is shedding its skin, it's a very vulnerable time for that snake. So much so that even their eyes go murky. It's harder for them to see. And I think that's related to our spiritual growth. Like, this portal, this gateway that we're entering through, okay? It's hard to see our way through this. It's something that we simply have to experience and move through. We have to just move through it. So if sentiments, if icky feelings, if whatever's coming up right now, okay, it's literally meant to come up. You're not doing life wrong. You're not doing life wrong. I see how we started the reading. Cleanse your energy, let go of anxiety, be positive. I got this huge pushback saying from the collective saying, you know what, I've been doing my affirmations, I've been journaling, I've been doing all the things, staying positive. But yet these murky feelings are coming up. The melancholy, the heavy heart is still there. Okay? That's perfect. The feelings that are coming up right now, good, bad, painful, uncomfortable, foreign to you maybe, it's all coming up for a reason. This is a part of your spiritual growth. This could be leading you to this new career or a new development in your career as well. Okay. Let's see if there's any messages from this deck for the collective here. We got vulnerability and memories. There's that rose and there's that heart center. Yeah, this is a very vulnerable time. Very vulnerable time. Shedding skin is vulnerable. Turning into that beautiful free flying butterfly is vulnerable. Making career changes is vulnerable. Being in the unknown about our uncertainty about the future is vulnerable. So this card says, this is confirmation that you're seeking to tread into the unknown, unfamiliar territory, where decisions are based more on intuition than rationality. Don't let fear hold you back or allow a misguided sense that feeling vulnerable is somehow a negative condition. I love how this message came up almost as a part two to the reading I just did before this, because vulnerability came up in there too. Almost just really needing to solidify the message into our minds, into our hearts, that being vulnerable is not a bad thing. Feeling naked sometimes is not a bad thing, because this is leading you to your growth, your expansion, expanding your bandwidth, your auric field, your imprint on this universe. Now we have memories as well. Your memories are like diamonds in the treasure chest of your spirit. More and more memories are arising within you. Remember the happier moments with your loved ones who are here in the spirit world, for neither time nor distance can stop the energy of love that you have for one another. So this could be referring to nostalgia as well. Nostalgia. I'm also getting just missed opportunities, just like that came through. Missed opportunities. Someone's feeling like they missed an opportunity, or there was a missed opportunity. Others of you, it's everything. It's you're grieving. There's a grieving heart. Someone feels like they missed an opportunity, and then we have like a longing for what you feel like could have been somewhere in your life. Intuitive nudges at the bottom of the deck. Intuition is the language of the soul. We are all born aware with a profound sense of inner knowing. Intuition is one of the greatest gifts we possess, which keeps us connected to our higher selves, the universe, and to our divine spirit. I feel like you could be feeling that your intuition is getting a lot stronger. I like how the eyes are closed in all three images here because you're leaning on intuition. It's also a symbolism of that murkiness, isn't it? It's the symbol of the unknown. We don't know what lies ahead all the time. Not even the best psychic can tell you exactly what's going to happen forever and ever and ever. We get downloads, we get visions, we get prompts, but it's not the full picture. I love that this message made it clear that don't be misguided by this sense that vulnerability is somehow a negative condition. This is part of life. Let's sort of embrace this gap that I feel like very soon will be filled. And I wish I spent time to draw better imagery because I myself know I could do better, but I feel like this gap within us is going to get filled with something very beautiful, very potent, because the rose is not just beauty. There's potency to the rose as well. Our lives are going to become full again. I'm also hearing like sometimes we do have to empty our vessel every now and then to allow more in. When we're too full all the time, when life is just working out perfectly all the time, no complaints, nothing to move through, nothing to shift through, it doesn't allow much room for soul's expansion and soul's growth. Soul's expansion and soul's growth is this energy right here. It's the hard part. But once we make it through this phase, I feel like greater freedom lies on the other side of this. Are there any more messages here for this beautiful divine collective? Okay. Forgiveness. Holding on to resentment and anger is preventing or even suffocating your spiritual growth. Resentment is one of the strongest and most damaging of human emotions. The act of forgiveness in its own right is equally incredibly powerful, and it has the capacity to heal and transform. So some of the feelings coming up could also be requiring us to forgive who we need to forgive. Forgiveness work is tricky because even though we feel like sometimes we have forgiven a person, ourselves, a situation, it can come up again in a different form, requiring us to forgive again. Yes, yet again. And that could be the hard part. But once more, there's something really big happening here. Okay, something really big tied into soul's expansion. Cleanse and serenity. Your body, mind, and soul are urging you to take time out for some much needed cleansing. Just as you wash your car, clean the house, or tidy your office, your body also needs care and attention. It's time for some spiritual, emotional, and physical cleansing. I feel like it's also important to note that some of us, if we are feeling melancholy or picking up on strong emotions from the collective energy, or a lot of pain is coming up for us, it can be hard to attend to the tasks like cleaning, tidying up, organizing, but there's an encouragement to do that as well. In addition to obviously cleansing your beautiful body, Tidying up your home and your space moves energy. Okay, so in alignment with that new exercise program, which to me is movement, one way or another, leading to spiritual growth. You know, the dust, the clutter, it all retains energy. If we cleanse, if we dust, if we vacuum, if we mop, that helps move and clear out energy. There's a few cards here about clearing energy. Okay, so I just want to point that out as something that might be important. Okay, serenity, the most important. Oh, and they're bringing me back here. I'm sorry. Even though cleaning is tedious and it's time consuming and sometimes daunting, the beauty about cleaning, okay, whether it's your home or taking a shower, you can use that as a moment to be very present, okay, very present, and actually be very intentional in your cleaning. Okay, you can use it as a way to let go of anxiety. You could use it as a way to bring in positivity. Everything we do has this ripple effect as well. So if we're cleaning with intention of cleaning out old stagnant energy, melancholy, sorrow, it'll be cleansed from the space. You can also then invite in that positivity afterwards, okay? Just a little side note on that. Now, serenity. The most important relationship you can have is with yourself. It is time to honor, nurture, and love yourself more by seeking out and removing any negative feelings and emotions that are left over from yesterday. Don't let past issues and resentments interfere with your serenity today. Sometimes feelings that do come up are not even ours. It's spiritual transference. It's that I feel like right now we're more open collectively than ever, and we will be for several years to come, where we can really feel the heartbeat of the collective. We can really tune in and pick up the good, but also we can pick up the pains that don't belong to us. Okay, but there could be a resonance there, so it's not all bad at the end of the day. Feelings, if we detach from, okay, this is a good feeling or a bad feeling, and just look at them as feelings, look at them as messengers. Like, what is this feeling trying to show me right now? Whatever that feeling is, you can sit with it. What is this feeling trying to show me right now? For some, it's rage. For some, it's sadness. For some, it's boredom. For some, it's happiness. Whatever the case is, they are teachers. Feelings can be teachers and can lead us to, I feel like, greater insights, okay? Because we do have the career, some of these feelings coming up are coming up because there's a dissatisfaction with your current career, a dissatisfaction with the way things are, like how you're earning money, maybe even how the world works, okay? But I'm getting the strong message to let go of resentment. We have a mother's love, and there's that rose again. A mother's love is reaching out to you at this time and holding you close. She knows how much you miss her and wants to remind you that this special bond of love can never be broken. There's a hello from heaven. Your loved ones in the spirit world want to connect with you as much as you want to connect with them. They know you've been thinking of them, and they're sending you signs and symbols and show you how much they love you to prove they're with you at this time. So many symbols are around you from loved ones trying to connect with you. I feel like the veil is quite thin right now. I mean, we have entered Pisces seasons. We have entered Pisces season. The veil feels thinner right now for us to be able to connect spiritually, telepathically, and with heaven. Okay. Now you have other cards here. You have ground yourself and stand your ground. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Being distracted, unfocused, tired, irritated, and impatient are all signs that you're ungrounded. Now is the time to become centered and allow spirit to help ground yourself and reconnect to the divine source. So that's another thing. Energy transference. Oof. I've been saying this for some time about short form content that it just shows up and it shows up and it sucks our energy. It sucks our life force out of us, and it can make us feel chaotic and out of control and out of sorts. One thing I love about YouTube, I know there's a short section and all, but the long form content, nothing will beat that. Grounding yourself is so important in today's day and age because it will also help you distinguish your own feelings from the feelings of others. Okay? Also, with your authenticity, something around authenticity. This is tied in with career changes. Stand your ground. Standing your ground is an empowering, confidence-building action to take from time to time. Now is the moment when you need to stand your ground. You know you can do it, and you know that by doing so, you will be the victor. Where is it in your life that you need to stand your ground on? Okay, where is it? Is it with others? Is it with yourself? Have you decided you're going to make some healthy changes in your life? Standing your ground with yourself could look like really honoring that and actually following through with something. Give back. Today is the day to cast aside normal routines and make your main purpose to serve. It is about giving back without any thoughts or expectations of getting anything in return. Reach out and touch other people's spirits, as it's highly likely that someone really needs it today. So if you have the capacity to extend yourself, there's encouragement to do so. Some of us don't have the capacity all the time, and that's okay. Some of you will be getting back, okay? Someone could be reaching out to you because you really need it today. Someone could be pouring themselves out to you, extending a helping hand to you today because you really need it. But if you are in the place where you could give back, even if it's a compliment. And by the way, if you're liking and enjoying this reading, why not give it a like and comment below? It really helps my channel. I also love hearing from you. But if you're in the capacity to give back, this is also a beautiful invitation. There's that rose again. Self-sabotage came up. When you learn to get out of your own way, there will be no stopping you. Most of the time, it's not others who prevent you from achieving your true goals. It's that inner voice that derails those who carefully woven plans, okay? It's that inner voice that derails those carefully woven plans. Yeah, new career. You have big dreams, big goals. Self-sabotage is coming up because this is an opportunity right here, right now, in this gap where you feel like nothing is happening, to look at self-sabotage. Maybe recollect memories. It could be vulnerable to look back, but there could be an invitation to look back on the ways you have sabotaged yourself. Cut yourself off from blessings. Kept yourself small. Denied abundance and love in your life, okay? Maybe it has shown up and then you have found ways to sabotage it. You have found ways to not make it work. You have found ways to push it away. May this be the time where we no longer push away the goodness that's trying to come in, okay, and fill our gaps, heal our wounds. Where are you also not seeing the goodness in your life right now? There's a lot of flowers, color, juice, vibrancy around you. Where are you not willing to see that? The goodness already in your life, or what's already available and accessible to you right here, right now. Okay, you also have a father's love. So you have a mother's love and a father's love. A father's love for his son or daughter never dies. The strength gained from such love is often unquantifiable, in that it can be tapped into at any time for whatever reason, whether your father is still here or who has passed. A father's love is one of the strongest bonds any of us will ever experience. And with the father's love and mother's love, I know some of those relationships can be strained. So it's looking beyond appearances or what occurred in those connections and coming right to the source of energy. There was a card about purification that came through, the white rose. And I feel like purification is coming through to heal energy lines between the masculine and feminine. The masculine, the father figures, and the mother figures. Our connection to the father and mother. Healing those wounds. The father and mother wounds. I don't know how and when this is playing out. I just feel this, that there's energy lines between the father, the mother, the masculine and feminine that are healing. And this is going to transform our present, current day relationships and intimacy and friendships and career and creativity. This purification, I don't know if this is also just happening collectively, just right, we're in the right place at the right time. We incarnated at this time to experience this. Or if this is something, you're visualizing happening. We have caregiver and just ask. We are here with you, and Spirit has its own way of recognizing the care and love you provide to others, especially at the end of their lives. Just as you received care and love at the start of your life, caregivers often focus all their attention on their loved ones and often neglect their own concerns and well-being in the process. Ouch. Where are you not caring for yourself? Where are you letting your energy go elsewhere? Where are you giving and not receiving? Just ask came in with this, and I love how the hands are so symbolic of giving and receiving. So you, beloved caretaker, I feel like this is your turn to receive. It's your turn to receive. Some of us have this gap because we've just overgiven of ourselves, overshared, we become this empty vessel, and I feel like now it's time to be filled, but filled by a higher power, a higher purpose, spirit itself. With the Just Ask card, it says, there are many here in the spirit world that can assist you at this time. We are made up of the divine source, your loved ones, friends, guides, angels, and spirit helpers who are waiting to assist you. We are your spiritual team, and all you have to do is ask for our help and guidance. Sometimes we forget that our spirit team is not necessarily going to intervene all the time unless it's part of the soul contract. Okay, we do have a lot of free will here. A lot is just simply written in the stars, but for the times and periods and gaps where we have free will, don't forget to ask your spirit team, God, your highest self, the universe, whomever you connect to, maybe all of the above, okay, for the help and the guidance and the assistance, and really reach out, especially if you've been the one giving in all your relationships at work, not receiving anything in return, maybe being walked all over. You feel neglected. You feel sort of like the good work you do doesn't go noticed or appreciated. Okay? It's time for you to receive. Don't be afraid to ask. Okay. We also have ancestral wisdom. Look how these cards just tie in together, like the mind connecting here. Something calling me to this card. It says, stop. Now is not the time to rush into the decision you're about to make. Before this important decision is made, take a moment to pause and quiet your mind so you can ask your soul for guidance before you act or move forward. In this busy, rushed life, we're always sort of prompted to act quickly in fear of missing out. Boy, does Spirit have a message to stop, to listen to your guides, embrace the moment, find your center. Wow. It's a vulnerable time being in this place of finding your center, embracing the moment, especially if it's not a moment that you want to stay in for very long. But this is where the true magic happens here. This is where the true magic happens. Spirit is saying there's no need to rush. You don't have to rush your soul's growth. You don't have to rush your career plan. You don't have to rush that relationship. Be here, be now. Find your center. Your outside world is a reflection and manifestation of what's going on inside of you at this time. When the outside world becomes so hectic and stressful that your anxiety starts to overwhelm you, then this is an ideal moment to stop and ask, when is the last time I checked in with myself? When is the last time you checked in with you, had a good soul's talk with you, journaled out your feelings, sat with your feelings? Sometimes we want to brush through the hard part, the murky part. We want to just glaze over it, go right to the fun stuff, the lighthearted stuff. But there's a real true invitation here to sit in this moment. To listen fully and intently means to pay attention. Your feelings are sending you signs. The present moment is also filled with signs from Spirit, from your ancestors, from your deceased loved ones, from God itself, your highest self, okay? You can miss all of that if you're rushing to the next thing and the next thing and the next appointment and the filling everything in your schedule and not having room and gaps. Okay, that word gap keeps coming up, okay? Something about that being very important for this timeline that we're living in, this time period. Maybe all time periods, okay? There's something about not rushing to the next thing and filling the void right away. Not filling the gap right away. Sitting with what's here and now because there's lessons here. There's also profound wisdom here. That profound wisdom will help you in your decisions. But if you're always busy, if you're always full, if you're always on to the next thing and then the next thing and never stopping for a moment, you're going to miss these nuggets and treasures of wisdom that are here to collect, that are here for you to collect. One more message for this beautiful divine collective. Change of mind. Change of mind. See, if we're just on autopilot, if we're just constantly doing, never stopping to pause, we never know if it's time to change course or if it's time to move in a new direction. Change of mind is coming in here to support any changes, shifts in the vibrations. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to change courses. I'm also getting the Wheel of Fortune in front of me. How this is a moment of time where maybe right before the Wheel of Fortune comes in to change course, we're sitting in right before that moment. This card comes when we are in the process of moving into a higher level of cognitive functioning. And I have that here, okay? I mean, with the rose, it's a gateway to higher consciousness, okay? Higher consciousness. In this case, it's saying higher level of cognitive functioning, but let's proceed. This is a direct effect of the shifting vibrational frequencies on the planet. Those who are ready for these new frequencies will begin to notice changes in their physical and energetic processes. The card signifies a shifting of your conscious functioning. Your cognitive processes are beginning to operate within the field of higher frequencies. This can be seen as a change in your perception of how you view yourself, how you view this world, and your understanding of your innate connection with Source. You may find yourself making decisions based on abstract knowings. You will start to understand the underlying causes behind the actions and behaviors of others. This is your intuition in full swing here. You will find you are clearer in what your own truth is and feel more empowered in it. Information will be quickly processed and sorted. Your thinking will start to encompass the bigger picture and understand how to fit into it. This is a part of the process in becoming an open channel to and from the divine. The divisions between thoughts and intuition will begin to fade as they blend into one cohesive faculty. You might find yourself in a bit of a brain fog as this frequency shift completes. It is normal to experience forgetfulness, mild confusion, time passing quickly or slowly, or doing things you would never have considered before. There could be mild irritability and a lack of patience with yourself and others. Do not worry if you find yourself frustrated with your mind's inability to process information quickly during this time, Once the energy shifts, once the energy shift is complete, you will be mentally clear and vibrant. Okay, this is the message of all messages, summarizing everything here. This notion of murky feelings, the unknown, the gap, the confusion, the irritability, the rage, the sorrow, all the things coming up right now is really timely, because you're about to change and shift gears to this higher frequency. Think of the rose, 320 megahertz highest frequency. You're shifting into gears into higher frequency, higher consciousness. This is all necessary. That brain fog piece, so relevant to my last reading about the snake, about the murkiness, the vulnerability, how vulnerable this time feels, even about the caterpillar here turning into a butterfly. That feels like an energy of brain fog to me. It's just like the caterpillar turns into mush and then somehow this metamorphosis happens. Oh wow, this is all part of the plan. This is exactly where you need to be. So it'll be uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie. I won't sugarcoat it. I'm not going to glaze over the hard part, because that would be doing you a disservice. But maybe by talking about this, by sharing this intuitive download that I've been getting and even feeling within myself, hopefully it'll also help you on your journey if you're feeling any of these sentiments and are just maybe confused about that, unsure why they're coming up right here and now. It's definitely for a higher purpose, okay, higher frequencies, our capacity, our bandwidth to accept higher frequencies. That's what that bandwidth was coming in to show me. We're adapting, we're changing, we're evolving. And I do believe this is a collective thing. It's not individual. This is very much collective. So I hope this reading helped to give you a little bit of comfort in a sense during this vulnerable time. And I hope to keep showing up here so we can just sort of document and read and honor these changes that we'll be going through. Sending you so much love. If you want a personal reading, you can always book me on my website. The link is in the description box below. Until next time.